Discuss basically the next part of Nehruvian era, integration of princely state, the post-independence era. The post-independence era basically, in post-independence era, the three states, first and foremost, Junagadh, then second one is basically Hyderabad, and the next one is basically Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so first we basically discuss the Junagadh, then Hyderabad, and then J&K. So in Junagadh, the Junagadh story, what happened? Junagadh, see, Junagadh means today's Gujarat. Okay, so Gujarat area. In Junagadh basically the Hindu majority population. And the ruler, means king, is Muslim, and the Muslim king is there. So, see, Hindu majority population, the ruler is Muslim. Okay. Now, what happened? On 15th August 1947, what happened? Junagadh declared that they are acceding with whom? With Pakistan. Okay, so on 15th August 1947, what happened? The Junagadh basically declared that they are acceding with the Pakistan. Right? Now what happened? On 13th September 1947, the Pakistan accept recession, and as a result, what happened? The local people revolt for acceding with Pakistan. Okay, so what happened? See, Pakistan is basically what? Pakistan is basically Muslim majority. Pakistan and India, right now. So what we basically look before that, the Lord Mountbatten basically give a partition plan on the basis of religion, means the Muslim majority area and the Hindu majority area. The Muslim majority area basically Muslim, Muslim majority area, Pakistan, right? Now what happened? See the story. The local people basically revolt, right? Now, so in the absence of, see, before that we basically discuss a storyline. Basically we don't write it in an answer, but we just remember it, right now. So see what happened here. The Mountbatten role is important. See, Junagadh Hindu majority and Muslim ruler, and when we see the Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, the vice versa of Junagadh, right now. So what happened here? Vallabhbhai Patel, when basically Junagadh, the king of Junagadh, basically when think that, and they have to sign instrument of accession with the Pakistan, right now have to ready the instrument of accession with the Pakistan. Then what happened? Then what happened? In that time, basically, Patel, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, what happened? He basically decided that he attacked with the Indian army and captured Junagadh. But Lord Mountbatten, right now, Lord Mountbatten basically said that don't do this, cause Pakistan will not give or provide any kinds of help to the Junagadh, right now. So what happened? So in the absence of any kind of help provided by the Pakistan, on 7th November 1947, on 7th November 1947, what happened? The Diwan Shahnawaz Bhutto, the Diwan Shahnawaz Bhutto basically agreed to a seat with India and signed instrument of accession with India. Now, in 1948, what happened? On 1948, basically, a plebiscite happened. And on 1948, a plebiscite conduct. A plebiscite conduct over Junagadh. Plebiscite means what? Plebiscite, the voting. Simple means voting. Conduct, which result merger with India. The Junagadh basically merged with India, right now. So what happened? How Junagadh basically merged with India? See, the first and foremost is a Hindu majority area, but the king basically Muslim king are Hindu population, right? On 15th August 1947, the Junagadh basically declared that they accede with the Pakistan. Junagadh declared they acceding with Pakistan. On 13 September 1947, what happened? and the Pakistan accept the recession. As a result, Pakistan accept, yes, obviously you open hand and please come with us. But the local people revolt, and the Pakistan basically don't provide any kinds of help to the Diwan Shahnawaz Bhutto. As a result, what happened? On 7th November 1947, basically, the Diwan Shahnawaz Bhutto agreed to accede with the India and signed instrument of accession with India. Now, on 1948, a plebiscite conduct, and then Junagadh basically marched with the India. So this is basically a story. So what if I say a chronology? On 15th August, what happened? On 15th August, basically the Junagadh ruler of Junagadh basically declared accede with Pak. Right. So on 13th September, what happened? The Pakistan accept recession. Right. So as a result, what happened? The next thing, as a result, local revolt on 7th November, and local people revolt. Then next story, Pakistan provide any kind of help. So on 7th November 1947, what happened? On 7th November 1947, Diwan of Junagadh Shahnawaz Bhutto declared, he basically signed instrument of accession with India. And then on 1948, what happened? Plebiscite conduct, and finally Junagadh accede with India. Okay, so this is the story basically. Now Junagadh portion is done. Travancore, before today's class we basically discuss about the how Travancore, Bhopal, Jodhpur, this all basically accede with the India, and today basically we look about the Junagadh section. Now the next portion and the important one is basically Hyderabad. Hyderabad means what? Hyderabad means today's Telangana, right now? Telangana state. Telangana, Hyderabad, right now? Telangana. Okay, so Hyderabad, just like Travancore, the Hyderabad basically reach chest and largest princely state. Princely state. And the position of Hyderabad, geographical position, position of Hyderabad is important right now for integration of Indian subcontinent continent. Okay, see what happened in Hyderabad. The ruler was basically Mir Usman Ali. Mir Usman Ali. He basically a Muslim ruler, right? And the population 85%, not total majority, 85% population basically Hindu. Okay, see, because of richest and larger princely state, richest and larger princely state, the Hyderabad maintain his own elite army, administration and police. And these three posts basically, or these three services, the majority and in hierarchy hold by Muslim. Okay, so now what happened? The three forces, see, in Hyderabad basically the three forces basically acting, a major hold or major play a major role for integration of the princely states, right now, means Hyderabad. So what happened? The three forces, first and foremost, Hyderabad State Congress, Hyderabad State Congress, first. Second one is basically the Majlis-e-Ittihad ul Muslimin. Okay, means Majlis is Ittihad ul Muslimin means what? This is basically nothing just like Council of Union of Muslim, right? And then the next one is basically 3. The next one is basically nothing just like Communist Party of Telangana, right? See, so what happened now? Till now, what development happened? See, Hyderabad strategically, we basically first strategically and geographically, how economically, geographically and strategically. Why Hyderabad is important? Because Hyderabad is the richest and largest princely state. Now what happened? The geographical position of Hyderabad is important for the integration of the Indian subcontinent, right now. So what happened? And now we basically political domain. The leaders, the king of Hyderabad is basically the Mir Usman Ali, means the Muslim, and the 85% population is basically Hindu. Now, so what happened? The Hyderabad is because of richest and largest princely state, so that's why the Hyderabad maintained his own elite army, administration, and police. Means independent, independent, right? So that's why. But what happened? These three elite means forces or elite the actors of the state basically majority is basically or majority or in hierarchy the majority holds by the Muslim. So that's why what happened. Generally the Hindus are basically suppressed, right now. So what happened? The three forces are acting basically for integration of Hyderabad into Indian subcontinent. First and foremost, Hyderabad State Congress. Second one is Majlis-e-ul Muslimin, means Council of Union of Muslim, and the next one is basically Communist Party of Telangana, right? Now, see this three, this 1 and 3, this 1 and 3 means Hyderabad 1 means what? Hyderabad State Congress, and 3 means what? Communist Party of Hyderabad. They basically revolt against Mir Usman Ali. Right? So, as a result, what happened? As a result, to suppress the revolt, by Razakars, suppressed by the revolt. See, the Mir Usman Ali created Razakars, right? Create to suppress the revolt of the Communist Party of Hyderabad and Hyderabad State Congress. Mir Usman Ali created Razakars, and the Razakars basically lead by Qasim Rizvi. Okay. So what happened? See, we already discussed that Hyderabad is basically landlocked area, then richest and largest and vast, so richest and largest, so that's why the vast princely state. Okay. Ruler, basically Muslim, Mir Usman Ali, and the population, basically what? The population 85% is basically Hindu. The 85% population basically Hindu. Till the elite population, the elite population basically the elite position, sorry, the elite position basically held by Muslims. Right? We already basically discussed this, right now, and that's why the three forces basically acting, and that's why the Razakars basically created to suppress the revolt. Right? Now what happened? Initially, the leadership was against an inquiry in Hyderabad as instrument of accession was not signed. So fear of war was there, right? That's why multiple round of negotiation took place, but Hyderabad state their freedom is Hyderabad states and their freedom basically non-negotiable. Hyderabad was even allowed to make law, maintain forces, and India only interfere. What? India only interfere on the ground of external matter. See, what in the negotiation, what Hyderabad state says, the Nizam of Hyderabad says that Hyderabad Nizam have the power to make laws. Next, maintain forces, and then India only interfere due for external matter. See, instrument of section sign on three subjects. Na? First and foremost, on the basis of first C, communication, foreign relation, and defense. So Hyderabad basically make his own law, maintain forces, defend them, and then communications done, and only to make laws on external matters, to make laws done, and only for the foreign relation, basically in India interfere whenever the crisis happen for the external threat, right? So initially Nizam agreed. Initially Nizam agreed, but later refused. So on 10th September, a final decision was asked to be made by the Nizam, and final decision asked to Nizam, and on 13th September 1948, what happened? Patel, Vallabhbhai Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji basically launch military action, and the name was Operation Polo. Launch Operation Polo was launched. Various name: Operation Polo, or Operation Caterpillar, or Police Action. Operation Polo, or Operation Caterpillar. And then Nizam basically agreed. And to assist with the India, and signed instrument of accession with India. Okay, so the whole story, if I briefly discuss the story, what is the story? See, the story is basically first and foremost, Hyderabad strategically, politically, and economically. What Hyderabad basically the richest and largest princely states right now. So, and landlocked area, geographically landlocked area, and the position of Hyderabad is basically the belly of our body, the belly of Indian subcontinent right now. So what happened? Same like belly of our body, means the belly of Indian subcontinent. So that's why the geographically position is basically Hyderabad is important. Now the politically, Hyderabad ruler was Muslim, and population basically 85% population Hindu. So what happened? Due to the largest and princely state and others conditions, Hyderabad basically maintained his own elites, army, the administration and police. So that's why although the Hindu majority area or population, till the hierarchy or the elite services basically hold by the Muslims. For due to the discriminations, what happened? And the three forces acting a bold step first and foremost Hyderabad State Congress. Second one is basically Majlis-e-Hind-ul Muslimin, means Council of Ministers of Muslims, and the third one is basically Communist Party of Telangana. Now what happened? The Hyderabad State of Congress basically and the Communist Party of Hyderabad, they basically revolt against the Mir Usman Ali, the king or the Nizam. And what happened? To suppress the revolt, the Nizam basically created the Razakars, and the Razakars basically headed by the Qasim Rizvi. So Qasim Rizvi is basically a crueler, basically a cruel. And initially the leadership was basically against an inquiry in Hyderabad, and as a result, instrument of accession was not signed. So fair to the war. Then for multiple rounds of negotiation happened, but till Hyderabad state that he wants to remain freedom, and he basically maintain its own forces or army to make his own laws. India only interfere for external matters. Although initially the Nizam basically agreed, but on the later position, the Hyderabad, the Nizam of Hyderabad was basically step back or refuse. And on 10th September, finally, it was asked to the Nizam that what is his decision, right now. So on 13th September 1948, the battle launched military action. The name of the action is basically Operation Polo or Operation Caterpillar or police action. In this action, Hyderabad basically agreed to sign instrument of accession with the Indian state. Okay, so this basically story of Hyderabad. And if we briefly discuss again the Junagadh is basically Hindu majority area right now. So Hindu majority area, and the population basically basically Muslim. Hindu majority area population, and the ruler was Muslim. So on 15th August 1947, the Junagadh declared that they are assigned with the Pakistan. On 13th September, Pakistan accept the recession. As a result, local people revolt, and what happened? In the absence of any kinds of help providing by the Pakistan, the 7th November 1947, because Pakistan knows that the Kashmir situation, if they interfere into the Junagadh position, they basically lose the Kashmir. And as well as if India basically they give the military support to the Junagadh, or the military accession for Junagadh of Indian princely state. So what happened? Same thing happened. The Kashmir was not in the hand of India, or not with the subcontinent of the Indian, not with the part of the Indian subcontinent. So that's why what happened? They basically refused, and on 7th November 1947, the Diwan Shahnawaz Bhutto basically agreed to accede with the India and signed instrument accession with the India. On 1948, the plebiscite happened and conducted, and in this the Junagadh basically result march with the India and signed instrument of accession with the Indian state. So again we basically discuss the Hyderabad, the Telangana, nowadays what happened in this basically it is the largest and richest princely states. Geographically the position of Hyderabad is important landlocked area, and then it is the belly of a Indian subcontinent. So that's why the ruler was basically the Muslim. The Nizam was basically the Mir Usman Ali, and the population basically 85% population was basically Muslim. And so due to the richest and largest princely state, although the Hyderabad maintained his own elite army, administration, police. So what happened? The majority in these elite services are basically held by the Muslim, and in this basically the Hindus are basically suppressed. So that's why what happened, and due to this, the three forces acting a very crucial role: the Hyderabad National State Congress, the Communist Party of Telangana, and then Majlis-ul Muslimin, so Council of Union of Muslim. It's later, the Hyderabad State of Congress and Communist Party of Hyderabad basically revolt against Mir Usman Ali. As a result, creates for suppressing the revolts, create Rajakars, the Razakars, which is led by the Qasim Rizvi, and initially its leadership was against in an inquiry of Hyderabad as the instrument of accession was signed of the war. And so multiple rounds of negotiation happened, but Hyderabad states basically revenge want to freedom, and two things: maintain his own forces and to maintain his own laws, and India only interfere for the external matters. So initially Nizam was agreed, but later the Nizam basically stepped back. So 10th September 1948 basically the final decision was asked. On 13th September 1948 Patel launched a military operation and Polo or Operation Cataract or police operation. In this, the Hyderabad Nizam of Hyderabad basically succeed with the India and they sign instrument accession with the India. Now the last portion is basically Jammu and Kashmir. See, Jammu and Kashmir, what happened? So we basically cleared this and then we discussed the Jammu and Kashmir. The whole thing is clear. Just give me a few seconds. Okay. So in Jammu and Kashmir basically the story is basically the opposite of Junagadh, right? So in Jammu and Kashmir what happened here basically it had 5 different parts. Okay, Jammu Valley, first and foremost Jammu. Second one is basically Valley of Kashmir, right? Then the Ladakh portion, then basically the Gilgit, and the last one is Baltistan. Okay, so first and foremost Jammu, second one is Valley of Kashmir, third Ladakh, fourth Gilgit, and 5 Baltistan, right? These 5 different parts, right? Now so all these regions are were very culturally distinct. They basically culturally distinct to each other, culturally distinct, culturally distinct, that is heterogeneous area governed by different forces till 19th century, right? On later on the 5 areas brought under the kingship of Dogra dynasty, which is owned by last basically Maharaja Hari Singh. But what happened? Maharaja Hari Singh basically communally biased leader. Okay, king basically, not leader, king. Communally biased. So the communally biased leader, see, the king was basically communally biased, means the Hindu and Muslim, these two differentiation. That's why the biased communal leader basically biased against Muslim. So in this what happened? The Sheikh Abdullah in 1932 basically create a party, all Jammu and Kashmir Muslim Conference. It turns into a national conference or national platform. On 1946, what happened? 1946, basically, allegation or basically revolt or agitation against Hari Singh, and he means who? This Sheikh Abdullah. The Sheikh Abdullah basically demands for self-government. Self-governance, right? So that's why he basically arrested on sedition, the standstill agreement signed with Pakistan on 15th August 1947. On 22nd August, October 1947, POK broken the standstill agreement, and which lead to threefold crisis. First and foremost, tribal invasion. Then second one is basically Poonch crisis. And the third one is basically Baramulla. Baramulla massacre. So in tribal invasion, what happened? See, Muzaffarabad, Uri, Mauta, Baramulla. Captured and the plan was to capture Kashmir. During this, they basically hold in Srinagar, and there was plundered plundered looting plundered looting and then violence was done by tribal forces near Kashmir, right? Under this situation, what happened on 26th August? See, before that, we basically discuss about the Poonch crisis. The Poonch crisis was Poonch crisis is basically on 1936. Basically, the tax was imposed on the pluralist, means mostly pastoralist, means mostly Hindu, mostly Muslim. Sorry, tax was imposed on mainly Muslim. So, cause Muslim majority population and king was Hindu. Right? So, after the World War II, they become politically enlightened and declare to rebel against the Hari Singh. Right now, after World War II, they basically politically awake or enlightened. See, we all looks in history is also same thing, right now. Without history, the post independence is a part of history. So what happened after the World War II? The political extend enlightened was there and declare rebel against Hari Singh. On September 1947, what happened? Basically, Pooch rebel declare free themselves, free or azad. Maharaja Hari Singh. Right? So on 26th October 1947, the instrument of accession was signed with India, and Indian army put backward but not the Muzaffarabad. Muzaffarabad. On February 1949, Karachi agreement signed and declared ceasefire line, and this was done till NJ 9842. And then the Pakistan called it the Sangam track of POK to China, right? So what happened? In conclusion, we basically looks that in order to ensure the complete integrity, the two articles basically imposed in Indian continent, say Constitution of India, Indian continent Constitution, Indian Constitution. First and foremost, Article 291, and then one Article 362. Article 291 said that right preving purpose, that is 8.5% of the annual revenue will be paid. And then Article 362 Article 362 or claim the right to returning their title, place, etc. And then this deal was made an exchange of complete integration of princely state only captured Kashmir, only except Kashmir. Okay, so this basically a whole story how Jammu and Kashmir basically how Jammu and Kashmir, Hyderabad as well as Junagadh was accede with the Indian. On next class we basically look into the tribal consolidation of Jawaharlal Nehru and then foreign policy. Okay, so thanks. Yeah, bye.